What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is C.A.M.P Beardy here today, bringing you another fun build within Fallout 76. Now, this build is kind of a multi-inspiration, and as you can see, I'm building here just outside Grafton. I did tweet about that. I also tweeted what I was building in riddle form. No one guessed it. But the inspiration behind this build is a threefold. One is basically the entire outside section of NCIS. If you've ever seen NCIS, you'll understand in a second. The second one is, funnily enough, GTA 4. Yeah, I know. And the third one is an initiative that I want to start with inside of Fallout 76 itself, but I'll talk about that in a different video. Don't worry. You'll actually get to know about that, because I think it's pretty fun, and I think you'll all enjoy it. So, I might drop a few hints through the video, so stick around. But if you've ever seen NCIS, you know that the entrance to the Naval Yard, where they work, because it is a federal building and such, it has a security guard in a little booth. It has a toll booth, as it is. It's a little guy, sits inside a booth. You pull up, you're like, oh yeah, I work here. It's like, alright, in you go, mate. But in GTA 4, you probably know where I'm going with this. On the bridge between the islands is that really annoying toll booth that if you run it when trying to do a mission, that's it. Cops are on you, and it's a pain in the ass to get rid of. So I was like, do you know what? I have this initiative that I want to do, and I'll tell you the name of the initiative. I don't really know if it's an initiative or anything. It's not, the Avengers. We're not going to pop up and avenge stuff. But it's called Rebuilding Appalachia. There you go. You probably guessed what I'm talking about, or what it might entail, as it were. But it's called Rebuilding Appalachia, and I wanted to kick it off with a little bit of fun. So, I'm not going to tell you what it is. The build is obviously, the build's a toll booth. It's pretty obvious, you've read the title. I'm not going to tell you what the initiative is of Rebuilding Appalachia. I'm going to save that for a different video. But my brain is weird. So I had the idea to start the initiative, and then I was like, do you know what? I got to kick this off in a fun way. And I was trying to find Graham when I was doing this. I had an episode of NCIS going. Excuse me. I was, trying to find Graham because he's got plans that I still don't have. And I need to find the Blighter, which is funny enough because he's in this episode. Sadly, he's not in it twice, but I do have 2 recorded footages of him being in it. But yeah, he's in this episode, funnily enough. So I was like walking around. I was like, right, Graham's going to be around here somewhere. I was walking through Grafton. I was like, where's Graham? Where's Graham? And then I stopped for a minute to watch a bit of the episode, looked back up, and there was Graham walking down this road. Now, what's special about this road? It's not really special. It's me just trying to make this a little bit more showmany. This road actually comes into a V shape. So it starts at one road. So the left-hand side of the screen right now is the single road leading into Grafton, and then it splits off into an in-road and an out-road. So you can leave Grafton and go into Grafton. I was like, do you know what this needs? This needs a toll booth. Because not only does it give me a place to sit and wait for Graham, but I can have a bit of fun while doing it. And if anyone, comes across it, I'll be like, stop! You must pay the toll to get into Grafton. Or just walk around like Graham does. Graham walks around this thing. It's so funny. But I realised something. So I spent about 20 minutes looking at pictures of toll booths, security booths, all these other kind of things that you might find, like little guardhouses and stuff. And I realised I need to decorate the environment around because I need to stick this pillar in. Now, on a multi-laned bridge, you've got, booth, and, the booths hold up this little thing with all the signs on it and stuff. Some of them are booth pillar. So there you go. There's a little bit of a rap for you. But I realised I want to incorporate this pillar. I want this pillar in the centre. But I didn't know where the point in the road began. So here's a Beardy building tip for you. And I should start calling them more often. But a Beardy building tip is if you have a building that requires the environment around it to also be a part of the decoration and or construction, construct it first. I obviously built the booth because I knew where that was going to go on the road. I knew exactly, where it would be, which direction it would face, all that kind of stuff. I built the overhanging roof because I knew that that's going to be parallel to the building. And then I was like, right, okay, where am I going to put the pillar? when we're going to put the support pillar to hold this thing up. Funnily enough, there's two. There's actually one right at the end, and then there's this one that I'm building right now. And I saw the point in the rod. Now, one of my pet peeves with this game is this weird kind of mess on roads. I wish we could patch things up like roads and roofs and pre-broken stuff. Like, you know, when you would try and fix up in Fallout 4 the entire Sanctuary Hills back to its original condition. That might have just been me and some other people on YouTube. But I was like, do you know what? This is really bugging me. But I had to find out where the point in the road began so I could put the pillar in and still have the whole 2 lanes without an obstruction in the way. It's a bit stupid, I understand, and I recognise that a lot of that was rambling. But it made sense to me, and it really helped with the build. So there you go. If you're ever stuck trying to figure out what you want to do for a build or how to incorporate a build, that's all you got to know. If the environment of a building is part of the building itself, build the environment first. There you go. Simple Beardy building tip for you. But as you can see, this was me sticking on the other pillar, and the reason I used the doors is because it has that middle section that makes it look like 2 support beams. Pretty much all that went on over there. I do like the fact that I've incorporated the cars into this build as well. It was a lot of fun. It's a stupid build, but I had a lot of fun doing it. You have no idea. Overall, it was probably about an hour, not including looking at pictures and all this kind of stuff, just the entire build itself, and the majority of that was decoration. Because I wanted this to be a 2-man booth. Now, Mirelurks spawn at this point all the time. Can't have that. Gotta nuke them. Can't have Mirelurks. Bye-bye. But this is the finished kind of thing. Now, I noticed on some of the toll booths they had security cones. We don't have security cones, so I used the red urns. I think it kind of works. I don't know, but as you can see, that lane is closed off, and there is danger of death if you go that way, and alligators, apparently. I put the fact that one of the lanes is open, and one of the lanes is not with the X's. That's how it's... the open thing is not how it's done, but the X's is how you show a lane closed, apparently, in real life. I put this floor in there to represent actual road, because there is no road there. There is a toolbox in case things go wrong, and of course, an American flag, which, because technically I work for the federal government, being the only postman left in Appalachia, I must salute, even though that's not an actual law. But yeah, I also, I wanted 2 people to work here, just in case they had to do some stuff and all this kind of stuff. So there we go. It's a nice little simple interior. That's the kind of thing. It's the exterior that really, is the main thing. And I realized I moved this sign. It's supposed to be there, and don't touch my stuff. That's where it's supposed to be. But there we go. That's the build. And the little PSA kind of goes like this. Always listen to the police officers who are giving you instructions. If they tell you to stop, stop. If a lane is open and you don't see it, they will wave you down and allow you in. It's pretty obvious. They will stand and give you directions. So always listen to police officers. And if a postal officer or a postal worker happens to walk down the road, report that shit, because that's just weird. There we go. That's me having a little bit of fun with it. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the entirety of the build. I hope you have enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. And stay tuned for more information about my little initiative that I want to get going. But yeah, you know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, stay awesome.